The waiver wire was very slim this week. Not many new options, but one guy did emerge. He should have been picked up off waivers going into Sunday, but it's Taysom Hill because he's in a situation now where there's hardly any competition due to injuries. We got to deep dive this situation. Plus, there's some other jabroni players we got to look at because if you're playing DFS, you're looking for cheap players. If you're an 18-team league, 20-team league, you may need to know some of these names, and some of these names might pop off in the near future. But before we dig in, you need to click that subscribe button right now. We go deep on all the trending players, all those players who's rising the depth chart, those hot waiver wire claims, those guys are even falling, who are sucking right now for fantasy football. We deep dive them. On top of that, we go deep on the waiver wire multiple times throughout the week, and we use these videos to help you set those lines. Click that button. Stop missing out. Ric Flair's watching. You do not want to disappoint Ric Flair. But we're looking at the practice reports here. Cedrick Wilson's out. Olave out. And we're looking at the running backs here. Jamaal Williams might not be able to play. That means it's going to be Alvin Kamara and hardly anything else in this offense. So Taysom Hill's going to get some run. How? Maybe a little bit catch the ball, maybe a little bit around the goal line, but he's going to get some opportunities. And this makes him a weird stash for fantasy football. You might already be good at tight end, but you may want to just pick him up so your opponent can't pick him up and throw him in. You may want to just do that if you got a jabroni player as your 20th guy or whatever. Depending, it's all on you on what you got on your team and what you can do. But he might already be rostered. He is also a tight end that can be productive due to how he's used on the field. He's a jigsaw piece. Last week, 26.75 PPR fantasy points. Should have already been picked up off waivers. But again, you're looking at him hard right now. You're looking at him hard right now. This is the deep dive. We're going deep on Taysom Hill right now. We talked about him in all the waiver wire videos. Should have watched those. However, almost 30 points last week. We're getting a lot of run in the offense. And when he gets touches, they're money touches. They're money touches around the goal line, catching balls out of the backfield. So he's not getting that much work, but all his work is money touches. His touches are to make an impact. I mean, you would say that for any touch, but catching the ball in the backfield, around the goal line, those are the money touches for fantasy football. Taysom Hill gets that stuff. He gets that stuff. And then just coming out, looking at his athletic specs, former quarterback, 4.5, 140-yard dash at 221 pounds, 6'2". They use him everywhere. Smart player. Play a little quarterback, play a little tight end, play a little running, can play a little bit of everything. That's the position he is. He's a little bit of everything type of player. So you can't really project him. You just put him in and just hope. And just hope that they get around the goal line, they give him the ball, or it busts out a big gain. They get some wildcat touches. You just hope, because you don't know. You can't project this. This is an unprojectable player, but you know there's going to be weeks out of every season that he scores fantasy points because he's been doing it for years. He's already done it this year twice. Not many running backs in the league has done it twice. He's done it twice. Not many tight ends in this league has scored 12 or more PPR fantasy points in a game twice. I'm just saying that this guy is just good at scoring fantasy points, and he's good at helping his team playing at different positions, and you do not know how to project it from game to game because honestly, he just plays in random spots throughout the game and gets those opportunities. He's a player that you just hope and pray with, but he can be consistent. He has shown consistency with some downsides mixed in, but he has shown some consistency there. And with the Saints banged up and him seeing more opportunities or potentially seeing more opportunities, he's a stash play. He's a stash play. I can't guarantee you that he'll give you a good start, but I can say, hey, he's a good start. I can't guarantee you it'd be a good one, but I can say he's a good one in that process. Like, hey, he's going to get meaningful work if he gets work, and all you have to do is see if he cashes in. You may not like that, but that's the real world here that we're looking at. Rashid Shaheed out. Olave out. We're looking at Kendra Miller on IR. Jamaal Williams might be out. Probably out by the time you watch this video. Everybody's out. We got Alvin Kamara, and we got Taysom Hill. Another guy you want to look at, because I said we're going to look at other players, is Mason Tipton. He's going to be getting a lot of routes. He's been running like an 80+% route participation rate these last few weeks. He's hitting or getting targeted heavily in like 1 out of every 3 games. That might increase now. Cedric Tillman's going to be out of this matchup, so there's going to be more opportunity for him to run, get those deep balls, so you might see some extra targets in this game. That is something to look at. You're looking at the Falcons against tight ends, and they allow fantasy points to tight ends, but mostly just Cade Otton and Taysom Hill. Taysom Hill scored 14.4 PPR fantasy points against them last time they played in week 4. They're probably going to use him again because they have nobody else to use. So if you're hurting at tight end, or if you don't like the tight end matchup you got this week, this is a hope and prayer that you got right here. Alvin Kamara is going to get a lot of work. They're going to run him into the ground. Another thing you want to look at is they're going to give him so much work, and when you get more work, there's more opportunities to get injured. So if that does happen, Taysom's Hill value is going to skyrocket because they're going to use him a little bit more. I'm not going to say he's going to take over at the running back position because they got other running backs. They're going to use him a little bit more. That's something to pay attention to. And you're looking at the running backs here. Jamaal Williams hurt. Jordan Mims has been okay. He's been okay. Kendrick Miller out. They're going to use him more if something happens to Alvin Kamara. That is something to look at. And look at the wide receivers. We are decimated. Olave out. Cedrick Wilson out. Rashid Shaheed IR. Bub Means out. Mason Tipton's there. There's not much there to compete with in the passing game. He's probably going to get a few targets. They're probably going to pull off some trickery with them. They're probably going to try and do something. They're going to get the cards out of the hat. You don't need them. You got other stashes. You only want one tight end. You rather stash upside running backs. It's okay. It's good to go. You're stashing because this team's jacked up and you know he's going to get more touches in the future, and you want to capture that. You want that on your fantasy team, and you want to roll the dice with that. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Make sure you hit that subscribe button on the way out. One thing for watching. Catch you on the next video.